We believe love has a flavor everyone knows but unique to each person. Umami sauce crosses borders, cultures, and dietary restrictions, creating a world where everyone can gather at the same table and enjoy their own taste. This is the universal flavor of love.
Hey guys! Welcome to Kimono Mom's Kitchen. I'm Moe and this is Sutan. Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys!
I started sharing my family's recipes on YouTube to introduce Japanese home cooking to people all around the world. Ever since Sutan was born, I was pouring all my love into cooking for her, and that's what I hope I have bottled with umami sauce. I knew how hard it was to make Japanese food outside Japan, so I created recipes that anyone, anywhere could make. Before I knew it, people from 192 countries were watching. But I didn't know anything about the world. As I kept sharing videos, I received comments like, I can't find mirin or sake. I'm vegan and can use bonito. I have a gluten allergy. I can't consume alcohol, so I cannot use soy sauce. That's when I realized just how diverse food culture and restrictions are. I wanted to create a sauce that everyone could enjoy, no matter their dietary restrictions. Umami sauce was born from this desire to bring the flavors of Japan to everyone, so that we could all enjoy it together. When I first shared my idea for umami sauce with my husband, he listened to me even though he was exhausted from his long day at the restaurant. I was filled with excitement, but I could see from his face that he was thinking deeply. We sat together talking about our future and my dream. But Moto, as always, asked the tough questions. Are you really ready for this? If you go for it, it's not just about you anymore. You build a company, you have to involve other people and take on responsibilities far beyond what you've ever done before. His word weighed heavily on me. It wasn't just about making a product anymore. It was about creating something that could change our lives. I had to decide if I was truly ready to commit and turn this dream into reality, no matter the cost. Could I really dedicate myself to this? Moto helped me see the challenges and sacrifices ahead. But through these conversations, I found clarity. Umami sauce wasn't just an idea anymore. It was my mission. A way to bring people together no matter where they're from, and I knew I was ready to give it everything. I reached out to Soy Sauce Company all over Japan, hoping they will help us produce umami sauce. But many of them turned us down because we were just influencers. But I didn't give up, and finally Shibanuma Soy Sauce, a company with over 300 years of history, thought my idea was interesting and decided to help us. Together, we created a versatile sauce that could be used to make any Japanese dish. Vegan, gluten-free, and non-alcoholic with no added MSG, there was nothing like it in Japanese condiments before. It took 2.5 years of trial and error to perfect the recipe, and during that time, I invested all my savings into the development. By the end, I was left with nothing, but the sauce was finally ready. We launched umami sauce in Japan first. At the launch event, people from all over the world came to try the sauce. One woman told me she had never been able to cook Japanese food for her family because they couldn't eat soy sauce. But now, thanks to umami sauce, she could cook for them. She had tears in her eyes as she thanked me, and I'll never forget that moment. After that, we traveled to different countries, hosting events and meeting as many Kimonoko as we could. You see, umami sauce was made from the voices of Kimonoko, and in the future, when we create new products or make important decisions, even make videos, I always want to remember each face and story. Thinking of the people who ultimately use umami sauce is our greatest strength. We traveled to food shows all over the world: LA, New York, Thailand, Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, Malaysia, pitching Mami Sauce to buyers. These trips were tough, both physically and mentally, but we knew it was the only way to get our product into stores and in front of people who could help make it a success. 6 months later,
うまみソースがアメリカの Amazon で販売を開始しました。イエーイ
Finally, UMAMI SAUCE is available on Amazon US.
we began selling on Amazon US. We quickly rose on the top of the Amazon wishlist rankings, but behind the scenes, we were facing serious issues with shipping. The cost of shipping from Japan was so high that we were barely making any profit. It was a tough time. Then something amazing happened. Shibanuma Soy Sauce, our Japanese manufacturer, introduced us to SanJ, a soy sauce producer in the US. They didn't see us as just a business. They saw us as part of the future of Japan's food culture. They believe in us and our mission to spread Japanese flavors around the world. The ingredients weren't exactly the same as what we used in Japan, so I traveled to the US alone, testing and tweaking the recipes until it was perfect. It was a tough process, but I knew we had to get it right. With SanJ's support, we could produce the sauce locally and solve the shipping issues we had faced before. And then came the biggest news of all. HUS Market decided to carry UMAMI sauce across the US. It felt like a dream, but I knew that this was just the beginning. If the sauce doesn't sell well, it could be pulled from the shelves at any time. We've only just reached the start line. So if you live in the US, please go to the storefront and get your UMAMI sauce. And we'll be doing a sampling roadshow starting in November, visiting as many of them as we can. Looking back, I realized how much support we've had from our community, the Kimonoko, and everyone who believed in us. UMAMI sauce isn't just a product. It's a symbol of our journey and the people who helped make it possible. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. ありがとうございます。I always make videos as if I'm writing a love letter to my daughter, Sutan. One day, when she's older and faces challenges, there may not be much I can do for her. She'll have to stand on her own. If we are together, I can comfort her by cooking her favorite meals. But if we are apart, I hope she remembers the flavors she grew up with. UMAMI sauce will remind her of her root, of who she is. I hope it gives her strength to face whatever comes her way. This is my flavor of love for my daughter, for my Kimonoko, and for the world.